Today on Pots and Trowels I'm getting the lawn ready for summer, which is brought to you with the support of Cobra Garden, Darlac and Mr Fothergill's. Hello, welcome to Pots and Trowels. Well, we've had a really dry April, and now as we get towards the end of the month, it looks like the weather's going to break. We certainly didn't get those April showers that we normally get. And normally by this time of the year, I would have done just a little bit of lawn maintenance, just to get the lawn in good condition for summer, to make sure it stays nice and green and healthy. But it's been too dry. But with the promise of rain over the next few days, now is the perfect time if you want to do a little bit of work on your lawn. Now, I've borrowed this lawn off a friend. I'm into borrowing vegetable gardens and lawns and everything at the moment. So we're going to do a little bit of work on it so that hopefully all through the summer it will stay nice and green. I've bussed over it with the mower. It's always good to mow the lawn first, just to get rid of any tufty bits of grass. It just makes it easier for when we come to Scarify. So I can get rid of the mower. And this is what we need to do the work. Now, what we're going to do is, in this lawn here, it's got quite a lot of dead in the base. There's a bit of weed. I'm not too bothered about the odd bit of weed in there, but it's got quite a lot of dead in there, which is yellow. That's never going to green up. As you can see, it's just dead. So by removing that, just lightly raking it out, it gives the grass a better chance to grow. And then I'm going to feed it so it's got the nutrients, and that will green it up and it will look fantastic. So two ways you can do it. One is to use a good old rake. This is a wire rake, an adjustable one. You've probably seen me use this before. And if you've only got a small lawn, it's good exercise as well. Just look how much is come out of only a square foot. All dead grass that's just choking the grass and stopping it producing lovely new growth from low down. So that's what we're going to do. So wire rake is perfect way to do it if you want to. But what we're going to do, because this is a slightly bigger lawn, we're going to use an electric lawn rake, an electric Scarifier. It's got the wire tines there, which are going to do the job that hand rake would have done, and it's going to get down and pull out some of this old grass and this moss in there. I'm not putting any moss treatment or anything on. I'm just going to do it as it is, and I'm just going to show you how it works. We can adjust this. I don't want it to dig in too deep, otherwise it's going to damage the lawn. So just by switching this on, you can hear that. So if I just move that out of the way, you can see, look at that, it's taken that out already. So that's about the height I want. I'm not going to be cutting into the soil. I'm doing no damage. It's just raking it enough. So I'm going to put the collector onto there, and then I'm going to have a go at scarifying this lawn. You'll be a little bit shocked sometimes at the amount it gets out, but don't worry. It will recover, I can assure you. Right, there you go. Looks a little bit drastic. Looks a bit more like a field that's just been harvested of barley, but that will green up. What it is, it's mainly moss, to be fair. And the reason there is so much moss in it this year is because we had such a wet winter, and then it suddenly turned very dry. So as you can see, the bulk of that is moss. So getting rid of that will really help the lawn to grow. And this is the second wheelbarrow, so 2 full wheelbarrows just off this small lawn here, and I could get even more, but I'm going to leave it at that. Just to finish it off, although this collects all the thatch and all the debris that we're raking out, it doesn't pick every bit up, so I'm just going to buzz over it one more time with the lawnmower. That will suck up the last bit, and then I'll show you what we do with the fertiliser. There you go, that just finishes it off. The mower's set on quite a high setting, so it's picked up the last bits of moss that the Scarifier didn't collect, and any tufty bits of grass that Raking's lifted up. And by trimming those off, it actually makes the grass grow from the base. It's called Tillering, and it will bush out from the base, and we'll get a much thicker lawn as a result of it. So what I want to do now is just put a little bit of feed on. We need to give it some nutrients to encourage a good root system and top growth. And you can buy specific lawn feed. You can buy weed and feed if you want to, or just a lawn fertilizer, but I'm just going to use good old-fashioned Grow More. It's a really good general purpose fertilizer. You can use it on your lawn, your trees, your shrubs, your veg garden, and it's not expensive to buy, so it's a good all-rounder, and it's got a balance of nutrients to promote healthy grass, root system, and just overall quality of the lawn. So I'm going to sprinkle this roughly one of my handfuls like that per square yard. So it's not a scientific measurement. The secret is to put it on evenly. We don't want it in clumps. We've got to distribute it evenly. It's always better to put a little bit less on than too much. So I'm just going to start over here, and I'm going to do it by hand. You could use a spreader, but I'll wash my hands afterwards. And I'm just going to literally sprinkle this evenly over the lawn, and you'll see that it is quite thin when it goes on. So that is one handful there in a roughly square yard. So that gives you an idea of the density. So I'm going to work my way across the lawn like that. But before that, one final thing that I always think you should do when you're looking after the lawn is edge it. Whenever you mow it, just run round with your edging shears. I've got my trusty edging shears here, really sharp, make a nice neat job of going around the edge. It just finishes it off and keeps the borders in trim. So it's just a case of buzzing around, trimming those edges nice and neatly. And by the time that this starts to grow, it will really green up and look amazing. Of course, if it doesn't rain, the clouds are showing it's going to do, I would put a bit of water on this. So if by tomorrow there's no rain, just a little bit of water just to dissolve that fertilizer. So really simple. So the steps are, we're going to mow, scarify, mow, feed, and you'll have a perfect, lovely, green, lush lawn this summer. We'll come back in about a month and have a look. See you soon. Well, thank you for watching, and thank you for all the likes and shares. And don't forget, as well as Facebook, we're also on YouTube. Now, next week, we've got a real treat for you. We're down at Barnsdale Gardens, which was the garden that was originally created by Jeff Hamilton for Gardener's World. So we'll see you then. Bye.